Dad, what's the craziest reason you've ever grounded your son? I came home from work and my son was standing in the driveway with his hands behind his back, like a used car salesman. I asked him why he was outside and he said, "Dad, don't be mad, but I fixed your car situation." The problem was, I didn't have a car situation, and so I asked what he was talking about, and this boy looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I sold your truck." I felt my entire soul leave my body. My truck was a brand new F-150 that I saved up for and bought 6 months ago for $58,000. I asked him who he sold it to, and he said some guy on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, how much did you sell it for? He looked at me and said, $150. I almost collapsed right there on the driveway. You sold my $58,000 truck for $150? And he just shrugged and said, yeah, because I needed money for V-Bucks, and $150 is a lot of V-Bucks, Dad. I tried calling the buyer, but the number was disconnected. The Facebook account, deleted, my truck, gone forever. I looked at my son and asked if he even felt a little bad, and he said, not really, because I finally got the battle pass I wanted. Then out of nowhere, my wife pulled into the driveway and asked where my truck was, and before I could even open my mouth, my son said, Dad sold it because he's bad with money. I looked at him and said, no, you sold it. And he turned to my wife and said, see, he's already blaming me. This is gaslighting, Mom. I told him he was grounded until he turned 30, and he said, that's fine, I'll just play Fortnite in my room. So I said, no, I'm taking your Xbox. And he hit me with, if you take my Xbox, I'm gonna tell Mom what really happened to her sister's cat. I didn't even know what he was talking about, but my wife gave me a look. So I said, fine, keep the Xbox. But then he said, actually, you should probably give me your credit card too, since this whole thing was technically your fault for leaving the keys on the counter. At this point, I was ready to crash out, so I told him to get in the car. I said we were going to GameStop to get him a new game for being so mature about everything. Instead, I drove 6 hours to my ex-wife's house, opened the door, pushed him out, and told her he was her responsibility now. She asked when I was coming back to get him, and I said, when Fortnite shuts down.